No, actually, we have been doing reproduction unit in 12th class. அதை நம்ம ஒரு சம்மரைஸ் பண்ணினோம் நம்ம அந்த சாப்டர்ஸ் எல்லாம். Now we'll be doing questions, probable need questions, or even general questions we will discuss. MCQ discuss பண்ணலாம். But since we have already summarized the topic and we have spent 1 or 2 classes in summarizing, we'll be just going through the questions. Just try to attempt. If you know the answers, please tell. We can just try to answer the questions, and then because I have got a lot of questions in the chapters what we discussed, so we will be moving slightly fast in answering the questions. Just try to answer, and by now you would be familiar with the chapter also. You would have written 1 or 2 exams also in those chapters, so you should be pretty familiar in the topic. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can stop me. Otherwise, you can just try to answer. If you can't answer, I mean, if you have any problem with the mic or anything, you can just press raise hand below in the screen, or you can just type it in the chat message. Okay, I'm going to share a document now. Actually, I'm just taking a PowerPoint presentation from, I'm sorry, a PDF document from a website called Vedantu. You all might have known. So they've got some wonderful, nice question sets. So we are going to discuss that today. Are you all able to see that?
Yes, madam, it's visible.
Okay. Now, see, we saw about the general reproduction of the flowering plants. So shall we start with the flowering plants? Okay. So reproduction of the flowering plants, we saw, I mean, about the female sexual organs, parts, and then male sexual parts of the inner flower, and how it gets fertilized and all that. We saw that. Now we will try to answer the questions in that chapter. Okay. All right. Now the first question. Pollination is? Anybody can answer.
Transfer of pollens from anther to stigma, ma'am. C option.
C.
Yes, option C, transfer of pollen from anthers to stigma. Very good. Now, second one, xenogamy is? Is it autogamy or cross pollination? Yes. Yes, very good. Now, number 3, in wheat, pollination is?
Wind pollination,
ma'am.
Huh?
Wind pollination.
Option E.
No, it's
option E, ma'am.
Isn't it bud pollination?
Ma'am, option E.
In wheat. Number 4, longest microspores are seen in? All right, I'll give the answer. It's Zoostera. Option B. Fifth question. In a flowering plant, archaeosporium gives rise to.
Is it option D, ma'am?
Yes, both wall and the sporogenous cell. Yes. Now, six. Polygonum type of embryo sac is.
24 nuclei.
No, it's 8 nucleate. Option A. Now, seven. In potato, self pollination is performed in
Option C, ma'am.
bending filaments to bring anthers in contact with stigma. No. Option D, style bend. Bending as part of it is right, but actually, style bends to bring stigma in contact with the anthers. So, eight, the fibrous thickening of endothelium are in the form of. Radial bands. Option B. Ninth one, the phenomenon of polyteny is associated with which wall layer of the anther?
Option D, ma'am, middle layer.
Yes, tapetum. Not option D, it's B, tapetum.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. 10th one, the fibrous thickening of endothelium is largely made up of.
Option A, pectina, ma'am.
No, no, ma. It's cellulose. Option D. See, small, small things. I mean, questions may come in any of these, small concepts.
Yes, ma'am.
This will
Now,
show
next.
us like how much depth we should go in learning. For our children, this will be one example where our depth may not be sufficient to answer the question. So you should go in depth and find out some of these even minor points. Thank you, madam.
Okay. See, I'll tell you how to learn for these things. See, all of you would be having state board book and the CBSE book, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Both books are good. So what you can do is you take one chapter, read the chapter. I mean, don't read it from your classwork or notes what your teacher gave you. That will help you in your class tests or school exams. But for the board or for the NEET, you have to read the textbook. So first you take a chapter and then read the state board book. Then the same chapter you read the CBSE book. And don't omit the information, whatever is given in the diagram. Even below the diagram, some names, botanical names, or some minute informations, details are given. Don't ignore that. You have to read that also. So the terminologies, the details, everything is necessary to answer well in the NEET exam. All right. Now we go to the 11th. The Yubish bodies are produced in the option D, tapetum. 12. Male gametophyte of angiosperms is.
Somebody said C.
Oh, okay. That's a correct answer. Pollen after germination. Option C is the correct answer. Very good.
You can open your mic and then tell Mr. Prasanna, Nivantika, whoever it is. Okay? Because madam may not be able to see the chat box. Since she's presenting something, she may not be able to see the chat box unless she closes this and opens that. So it's better that you open your mic and then tell. Okay? Carry on, madam.
Question number 13. The endosperm of angiosperms is developed from nucleus. Option D. What is the cotyledon of maize embryo called?
Option B.
Scutellum. Yes, correct. Option B is correct. Question number 15. Night blooming flowers attract pollinating insects with the help of
All of this, ma'am. Aroma, nectar, edible pollen.
night blooming flowers attract pollinating flowers. Only with the main aroma, isn't it? Only by smelling it will come first because it can't see or anything. With the smell only it comes. After that, nectar and edible pollen are all addition. But during the day, all these things may be helpful. But during the night, only with the smell it has to attract. So option A is the correct answer. 16. Allogamy is favored by option D, declining. 17. Atagmic ovules are found in. I don't know if you heard about these things. Have you read these things?
No,
Are,
ma'am. It's
are you
not
familiar with these
CBC.
things?
No, sir.
ஓ படித்தது இல்லையா அது?
ஆமாம் சார்.
ஓகே, படித்ததுன்னா என் புக்லேயே இல்லையா, இல்லை இனிமே தான் படிப்பீங்களா என்ன? வாட் இஸ் த மீனிங்?
சார் ஐ திங்க் சிபிஎஸ்சி புக்கில் இது மாதிரி பார்த்ததில்லை சார்.
ஓ, சிபிஎஸ்சி புக்கில் இல்லை. பட் ஆனால் இந்த நீட் கொஸ்டின்ஸில் வருது. அந்த சிலபஸில் இது மாதிரி இவ்வளோ அதான் அந்த டெப்த் ஆஃப் ஸ்டடீஸ்ன்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா, அது கொஞ்சம் இன்னும்
ஆமாம்
கொஞ்சம்
சார்.
டெவலப் பண்ணணும். எனிவே மேடம், யூ கேரி ஆன் மேடம். தென் அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு ஐ ஓப்பனராக இருக்கலாம். இந்த அளவு தான் நம்ம டெப்த் இன்னும் கூட போகும்னு அவங்களுக்கு தோணலாம். பட் லெட் இட் ஹேப்பன். யா.
Okay. So the answer for this one is OLAX. Note down these technical terms. You Google and find out. This is a homework for you. Google and find out what are all the options. I mean, there are 4 options. What does it all of them mean, and what is atagmic ovules, and what is volax and all that. We will discuss that in our next class. Okay, you have to come with the answer. So I am giving you this as a homework. Do little bit of this homework during the weekend and come back next week. We are having a class again coming Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday then sir
ஆமாம்.
class.
எஸ் மேடம், எஸ் மேடம்.
Okay, all right. Now whatever question you are not familiar, please mark down. I can even share this document or whatever the what to say, screenshot or whatever in the group. So whichever question we are not familiar, you can just Google and find out more information about it, get to know, and then we can discuss it in our next class. Okay, children. All right. Now we go on to the 18th question. Obturator in euphorbia develops from. All the options you are familiar with. Are you familiar with the obturator and euphobia? If you are not familiar, you can't answer. The option is B, placenta. Mark the questions which you are not familiar, which you are finding it completely new, and it's coming to you as a surprise. Those questions, please mark the question number, and when I share the document with you, you can just note it down and then do the little bit of homework and come for the next class. 19. The type of megaspore tetrad most commonly formed in angiosperms is.
Option D, ma'am.
Yes. Did you say B or D?
D, ma'am.
Yes, very good. It's linear. Correct. 20th. In P, the ovule is.
Option D, ma'am.
B or D?
D, D.
Yes, correct. Campylotropus is the correct answer. Now, 31. The male gametes of angiosperms are. Oh, how come it's 31 all of a sudden?
Yeah, they missed about 10 questions, I think.
Ah,
Parval.
anyway, the male gametes of angiosperms are. I'm sorry, C, non-motile, as there is no flagellate stage in life cycle of angiosperms. So it's non-motile. Okay? All right. Now 32. The arrangement of the nuclei in a normal embryo sac in the dicot plants is. 3 plus 3 plus 2. That's option D. D for doll. 3 plus 3 plus 2. That's the answer. Now 33. Meiosis occurs in. Looks like all the questions are coming to you as surprise. You people are not familiar with this? Questions are going to be like this, children. For Neet, questions are going to be like this. All right. Now the 33, meiosis occurs in endosperm cells. Okay. Now, if you're not familiar with the question and the answer, then what you have to do, how you have to prepare is first find out read from the book what is meiosis. You will be all knowing and familiar. You should be familiar by now, about meiosis. You can't say you don't know meiosis. All right. So, cell division, where and how it takes place, the stages, everything you should be knowing. All right. Meiosis occurs in which type of cells? You may not be familiar by now. So, what you have to do is either go to the book and search about this information. Then know about what is endosperm cell. What is intercalary meristems, apical meristems, spore mother cells, know about everything, then automatically you will have the answer. Once you know what is about the option A, B, C, D, if you know about all that, automatically nobody has to give the answer. You will know the answer automatically. That's how you have to learn, children. Okay. I can give you the answer, I can tell everything, but then that's not going to help you in the long run. Again, in the next class, you will be finding everything as a surprise. Unless you do that little bit of homework, you are not going to learn. All right, 34. Number of meiotic divisions required to produce 100 microspore in angiosperm is
Option A, ma'am.
125 to produce 100 microspore. Is it?
Ma'am, option D.
25. Won't it be 50? Very good, children. Option D is correct. 25 is correct. Anyway, once I put a question, then you get a doubt. Oh, is it 25 or 50? You're not sure about that also. It's very bad. You just have few more months to go. All right. 35. Pollen sac in cycas is called megasporophyll, microsporophyll, megasporangium, microsporangium. Pollen sac in cycas. See, in cycas or any other plant, it's flowering plant, it's going to be the same. So he has just given cycas. So
Option D.
megasporangium,
D, microsporangium.
microsporangium. Will it be microsporangium or microsporoville?
Microsporangium.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I say it's microsporophyll. Pollen sac. All right, question number 36.
Option B, ma'am. Haploid.
Synergids or?
Haploid.
Okay. 37. The point of attachment of funicle with the body of the ovule is?
Chalaza, ma'am.
Chalaza, correct. In an embryo sac, ostoreal structure are formed from
Ma'am, hostile structure means
um, the typical structure, whatever the embryo sac are formed from what? Eggs, synergids, and antipodals. Okay, 39. Xenia refers to effect of pollen on vascular tissue. Option C. If the meiosis occur in pollen sac and egg nucellus, it will be called
Option A, ma'am.
zygotic meiosis. Very good. Now 41. Largest cell of the ovule is
The central cell, ma'am. Option C.
no megaspore mother cell. An anther having four microsporocytes shall produce pollen grains. How many? Option A 24. All right. Polyethylene glycol (PEG) is used in. I think even this you are not familiar. Shall we see a little bit of human reproduction now? First question. Genetic mutations in asexually reproducing organisms lead to more evolutionary change than do genetic mutations in sexually reproducing ones because is asexually reproducing organisms but not sexually reproducing organisms pass all mutations on their offspring. Option A is the correct answer. Second one, which of the following patterns of reproduction are found only among invertebrate animals? Are you all able to see this? Okay, try answering, children. Which are the following patterns of reproduction are found only among invertebrate animals? Option D, fission and budding. Animals with reproduction depend on internal fertilization need not have. Children, are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you should try to answer. These are, I mean, the earlier chapter, what we discussed, you were having a lot of doubts and the portion was not familiar, but this you would have read, isn't it? You should try to answer. All right. For this one, the correct answer is internal development of embryos, that is option C. Animals with reproduction dependent on internal fertilization need not have internal development of embryos. Fourth, organisms with a reproductive pattern that produces shelled amniotic eggs generally. Invest most of their reproductive energy in embryonic and early postnatal development of their offspring. Option B. Fifth question. An oocyte released from a human ovary enters the oviduct as a result of. The wave-like beating of cilia lining the oviduct. Um, Children, I have stopped sharing. Nobody is participating. I don't know if you are all there or not. Hello, are you all there, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening, ma'am.
Okay, very good. When you're all keeping quiet, I don't know. I mean, if you're able to understand the question or if it's very difficult for you, you have to communicate, children. Otherwise, how will I know? All right, I'll share it. I'll share the document again. All right, fifth question. An oocyte released from a human ovary enters the oviduct as a result of wave-like beating of cilia lining the oviduct. Question number 6. The surgical removal of seminal vesicles would likely. It will greatly reduce the volume of semen. Sterile. I mean, it'll induce a part of sterility. I should not be saying sterility. Um, it will reduce the volume of semen. So option C is the correct answer. 7. Most of the non-cellular fluid in ejaculated human semen is composed of
Option C, ma'am.
secretions of seminal vesicle. Correct. 8. Increasing the temperature of human scrotum by 2 degrees C, that is near the normal body core temperature, and holding it there would what?
From option B,
Reduce the fertility of the man by impairing spermatogenesis. Correct.
yes, ma'am.
Ninth. In vertebrate animals, spermatogenesis and oogenesis differ in that
From option B, oogenesis produces four haploid cells,
hmm,
whereas spermatogenesis produces only one functional spermatozoa.
are you sure? It's actually option C. Cytokinesis is unequal in oogenesis where it is equal in spermatogenesis. 10th, which statement about human reproduction is false? The earliest stages of spermatogenesis occur closest to the lumen of the seminiferous tubules. That is false. Other statements are all true. Now, 11th, in excreted urine, a reliable marker that a pregnancy has initiated is.
Option C, chorionic gonadotropin hormone.
Yes, yes, correct. Option C is the correct answer. Very good. Now, 12, menopause is characterized by what?
Is it option B, a decline in production of the gonadotropin hormone by the anti?
No, no, it's A. Reduce the synthesis of ovarian steroids despite high levels of gonadotropin hormones. A is the correct answer.
Okay, ma'am.
Now, 13. For normal human fertilization to occur,
Option B, ma'am.
yes, correct. Very good. 14. The diagram shows some of the events in a woman monthly cycle. Which of the following hormone is at its peak during days 18 to 23? You want me to increase the size? Hmm.
Option D.
Option D is progesterone. Are you sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Which one will be at its peak during days 18 to 23? Won't it be LH?
Option A.
Option A is the correct answer. 15th, the secretory phase of endometrium corresponds to which of the following ovarian phases?
Option C, ma'am.
Yes, luteal phase, correct. 16th, which of the following statements about oogenesis is true? During ovulation, a secondary oocyte is released from a vesicular ovarian follicle. That's the correct answer. Option D. Now, which of the following is not a spermatic duct?
Option B, ma'am.
Yes, spermatic cord is not a spermatic duct. Correct. Option B is the correct answer. Which of the following is found in mammals during heterogametic gamete formation? Formation of four functional gametes from a primary germ cell. Option C is the correct answer. Now, which of the following is not a part of vulva?
Option C.
Yes.
Vagina.
Yes. In a female, the homologue of the male scrotum is the labia majora. Option A. Long term compression of the spermatic artery and vein could result in all of the following except
Option B, sterility, ma'am.
long term, read the question carefully. Long term compression of the spermatic artery and vein could result in all of the following except what?
C.
Sterility is bound to happen in such condition. What will not happen? What may not happen? Increased levels of secondary sexual characteristics. Option A. Okay. 22nd, damage of the rete testis would interfere with a man's ability to produce mature sperm. Option C. To answer this, you should know what is the function of ready testis, why, how it is used, what happens, what does it store, all that you should know. But we discussed all this in the summary. I expect you to know this already. 23rd, in the follicular phase of the ovarian cycle, the ovary is
Option D.
B or D?
D. Maturing of follicle.
Maturing a follicle. Yes, correct. Very good. 24. The process of spermiogenesis produces spermatozoans. Option D. 25. The erectile tissue that surrounds the urethra is the corpus spongiosum. Option C. During the secretory phase of the menstrual cycle,
D, ma'am.
no, that doesn't happen at that secretory phase. Glands enlarge and accelerate their rates of secretion. Option C. Twenty-seventh, the vagina is a muscular tube extending between the uterus and the external genitalia. Option C. During the male climacteric, what happens?
Ma'am, climacteric means what?
I mean, when the um, when it is active, when the reproductive system is active. FSH and LH levels rise. That is option C. The 29th, semen consists of what? No idea. It's a spermatozoa and seminal plasma. That's a semen. That's option C here, 1 and 3. The 13th, Sertoli cells in human testes are found in
Ma'am, option A, seminiferous tubules.
Yes, very good. So certain things you are very sure, you are very sure. Very good. In man, the epididymis from anterior to the posterior is divided into caput, corpus, and cauda. That is option A. (32) Cowper's glands secrete a substance to
Option A, ma'am.
yes, neutralize acidity of urethra. Correct. Very good. Which part of the ovary in mammals act as an endocrine gland after ovulation?
Option B,
Graphian follicle. Correct. After ovulation in female rabbit, the structure which is formed by the ruptured follicle is corpus luteum. Option A. Mullerian duct is oviduct. Option A. Now, children, shall we stop here or you want to do more?
Ma'am, the Mullerian duct is the other name of the oviduct,
Yes, yes.
like the fallopian tube.
That's also oviduct. That's all.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Now, you want to do more or you shall we stop here? What I suggest is you go through the chapter again, go through the unit again. See, we are spending a lot of time in this. I don't know why. It's been nearly more than 2 weeks we have been doing this unit. Still, you are not very comfortable in answering the questions. So, first I did the questions, then again I did the chapter, summarizing. Then now again we are doing the questions. Still, you are not very comfortable. I don't know. There are many new students also in here. So, what I suggest is you please go through the chapter again. I can share the questions, whatever we discussed today. You can go through that and try to find out the, whatever you want to, however, the way you choose to read or practice or do whatever you want. Till Wednesday, you have time. Come back. We will discuss a different set of questions in the same chapter, and I'm going to see how you all do. Or do you all want to take a test? Which one you want to do? You all want to take a test? Test. Mahalakshmi. Okay. How many of you want to take a test coming Wednesday? You will be facing a test with a different set of questions, not with the same question paper.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. But I will share this in the group. I will give it to Keshamurthy sir, and then he will share it with you all. You please go through it. I mean, whichever terms you're not familiar, please feel free to ask me. I will give the explanation. Okay, I mean, you can chat with, you can WhatsApp me or put it in the group also. I can even answer from the group, or you can even personally WhatsApp me. I don't mind. I can answer you. So, however you want to practice, it's up to you. You practice and come. Wednesday, you will be taking a test in the class, no take home test. You're going to do it in the class. It may be for 1.5 hour, or even it may go till 2 hours. So be prepared. All
No,
right.
for lesson, ma'am.
For this unit,
Okay, ma'am.
reproduction.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, you. I mean, I am not very comfortable, to move to the next unit now. So it's high time we finish this and move on, children. We have got lots to do. All right. All right. Then see you on Wednesday.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
புதுசாக முடிச்சுட்டு ஃபீல் பண்ணுறாங்க இல்லையா? அது அந்த டெப்த் இல்லை, அவங்க டெப்த் இல்லைங்கிறது இன்றைக்கி எக்ஸ்போஸ் ஆகிடுச்சு இல்லையா? தட்ஸ் குட் இன் அ வே. ஓகே மேடம், பார்க்கலாம் அவங்க நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம்.
இப்போ வேற எப்படி பண்றது எனக்கு ஒன்றுமே புரியல. ஒரு கொஸ்டினர் ஆன்சர் கொஸ்டின் செஷன் மாதிரி இருக்குது. எனக்கு ஐம் நாட் வெரி ஹாப்பி வித் த கிளாஸ் அட் ஆல். என்ன பண்றது எனக்கே ஒன்றும் புரியல.
இல்லை நம்ம வந்து என்ன பண்ணலான்னா இதே மாதிரி தான் 2 தியரி கிளாஸ் ஒரு ஒரு கொஸ்டின் ஆன்சர் கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறீங்க இல்லையா? மோரலஸ் அப்படி தான் வருது. அந்த ஒரு சாப்டரில் தியரி கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறீங்க, அப்புறம் கொஸ்டின் ஆன்சர் எடுக்கிறீங்க. அப்படி தானே? கரெக்ட் தானே? அதுதான் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க இப்போ. அதே மாதிரி கண்டினியூ பண்ணுங்க மேடம். அவங்களுக்கு அந்த